Welcome to NatFun, a live-recorded tabletop role-playing adventure game where the dice and a few friends tell the story. And today we're excited to continue our fun shot, Send Noobs, where we play Dungeons & Dragons with someone who has never played before. My name's Jackie, and I will be your game master this session, and I'm of course joined by a few friends and a total noob.
I am the total noob. I'm Janet. And I am a half-orc named Bridget, and I am a ranger.
Hey!
Did I say all the right things?
Great job.
Yeah.
You did great.
I'm Matt. I'm playing the paladin tiefling Oro Solace and his awesome sword Soul. We'll see if I stay awake.
My name's Dan, and I'll be playing Salvantheris, a rock gnome warlock, who's recently grown a little infatuated with fire.
And a certain young lady back at the camp.
Miss Orita, if I remember. So Janet is my mom, so it's hard for me to say Janet, not mom while we play. But Janet, how did you feel being the final blow to the attacking goblins last session?
Daughter. I felt victorious. It felt great. I liked that part of the game very, very much.
Winning.
I'm glad. I'm glad to hear that you're liking it. I think you were a little bit nervous about combat, and to see your face when we describe the injuries that the enemies are sustaining is a little bit comedic, but are you liking it? You're getting a little bloodthirsty.
Yeah.
Murder hobo!
Yeah. Yep. So, no, I am getting more comfortable, and that makes it easier to enjoy it, and I appreciate that.
Nice. I'm glad to hear it. You're doing great. Now, before we jump into our synopsis from last session, we of course get to do my favorite thing, which is some shout-outs. Shout-outs are a fun thing we like to do here at NatFun. You can do it at your own table as well, where the players and GM write down highlights from the previous session for each of the other players. And at the beginning, we roll 2 of them off of our list. The first one will grant the recipient GM inspiration, and the second one grants the one who posted it GM inspiration. It's a great way to highlight other people at the table and get some cool bonuses at the same time. So tonight, let's roll some shout-outs. Janet, would you like to do the honors?
Yes. I have a dice.
All right. You're going to roll the D10, and we're going to ignore the 10, because we have 9 options.
Of course, I rolled a 10.
Of course.
When Jackie specifically asked you to not roll a 10.
Give me back that GM inspiration.
That is a mother-daughter relationship.
It's okay.
So do you want me to roll again, or does it become a 9?
I just say roll again. Okay.
Roll again,
I said we're gonna ignore the 10.
Okay. 4.
Ooh, that's from me to Bridget. It was fun seeing you get excited for your turn in combat and even jumping the gun. Like, you were just so ready to go. And I was like, we've all done it all the time. Like, you're just like me. And then Jackie's always like, nope, hold on. I was like, oh, yes, there's someone else. Or you still have something about to interrupt us. So it's good to see that you're not, hesitating. You're anticipating and excited for it. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you.
Awesome.
I would second that. You're doing awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Being enthused is part of the game.
All right. Can we get one more dice roll from you?
10.
Okay. Can we get one more dice roll from you?
5.
Oh, that's from Dan to Oro.
Oh, boy.
And I like the description you gave of where you're awkwardly putting your weapons away at everything at the end of the battle. And the fact that you made, he's hardly ever used these. He's not so used to it. That I thought was kind of a fun detail, because I keep thinking about you as being experienced, and your character's not. He's younger, and you're really leaning into that. And your little comments remind me of that constantly. So good job.
Thanks. That was fun. It's fun to just make him a little naive. I mean, he's foolhardy and, good-hearted, but he's not My rolls help it make it very easy for me to pretend he's not real good at this.
Awesome. Well, those are some great shout outs, guys. Thank you so much. That is going to be 1 point of GM inspiration to Bridget for the first one, which I think you already had one. You can only carry one at a time. And that does mean that now the whole crew has GM inspiration because the second one goes to Dan/Salvin.
And we're about to need it.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Should I be scared? Should I be very scared?
Always, but it's
A
all right.
little bit.
Things in pits and caves, and I've never had anything go poorly while you jump over a pit full of sticks, so...
No, never. It's fine. Just remember, my job is to design a really cool way to lose.
Yeah.
So that you guys can be heroes. That, if I'm doing my job right, that's how it should play out. But the dice can always decide different things. We'll see. But with that, who's ready to smell the salty sea air?
Yar.
In a cave.
What else are we smelling?
It's a cupcake in a cup.
Because it is
All right, sure.
stinky in there.
Fishy. Real fishy.
Last episode on Send Noobs, a tense battle broke out with goblin raiders, but the adventurers prevailed. Salvin fleshed out a hidden goblin with a burning bush. Oro cut through enemies with his mighty blade, and Bridget finished the fight as her thorn-laced arrows rained down upon the final attackers. The grateful townspeople of Brook Shields returned home, while Father Hood stayed behind to share insight, offer healing potions, and await the city guard, who arrived just in time to not help at all. Although he did thank the party and offered Bridget a cloak of protection. Wasting no time, the adventurers followed Oro downstream to correct his path and walk upstream to the source of the river's trouble, taking a long and uneventful rest before arriving at a cave the next day. Stifled only for a moment by the goblin engineering of a crude drawbridge before Salvin's firebolt brought it crashing to the ground, allowing them safe passage. They pressed deeper through twisting tunnels, the scent of salt and sea air growing stronger, until they saw light ahead and heard a voice muttering something about poor, unfortunate souls. So I believe it's in this moment. I don't think I have any cave music on here.
How do you define cave music?
Here we go. This is pretty good. Okay. Can you guys hear it?
Yep.
Okay. I think it's fun to add the music while we're playing. So
I like it.
I used to even do it when we played our old campaigns. Okay, so you all are in a slightly illuminated, damp, salty, humid cave. You've been following this stream for quite a while, and you feel a sea breeze, is the best way I can describe it, because it has that salty sea air smell emanating from the room in front of you. Oh, I'll just keep waiting. I have nothing else to say.
I'm thinking about how we're going to start it off. I guess I want to speak up, turn around to Oro and Bridget, say, be ready. I don't like the sound of whatever that voice was, and we're on its turf.
Doesn't sound like it's selling us insurance. Let's see what happens.
Shall we take a peek? Shall I go look into the other room? And so then she walks over and goes to the opening and puts her face up there. And then a blast of cold air hits her in the face, so she just backs up real quick. She goes, I don't know. I don't know what that is. It's so cold. It was like ice coming on my face. What do I do now? What do we do now?
Do you have GM inspiration right now, Mom?
No.
I think she does.
She does.
Okay, I say, if not, that's brilliant, because you just made it look like you were going to go and make a roll and figure out what's going on, and then you totally, called yourself out of it. I've never had somebody do that, and that was brilliant.
Oh, that's just me in general.
Salvin will say, okay, and he will try to quietly sneak into the room and get a better look.
All right, let's do a sneak check.
Sneak
Some might call it even stealth.
Stealth
Yes,
with a
sorry.
-1.
Let's do a stealth
Ooh!
check.
That was a nat 1 for a 0.
Nicely.
Get that
All
out
right,
of the way.
Selvin.
Yeah. Well, they know we're here now.
Yep. So, Selvin, what's your passive perception?
11.
Okay. So how are you trying to sneak into the room?
I mean, he's already pretty small. So he tried to get lower, which probably only reduced his height maybe by about 2 inches. Like, it's not like he got much smaller and closer to the ground, but he felt like he was getting smaller. And was just trying to slowly tiptoe 1 foot in front of the other. Thought he could see what he was stepping on, but maybe he didn't see so well. Maybe the mist got in his eyes.
As you start to creep around the edge of this part of the tunnel that you're in, you see the space gets bigger, and it does have thick fog clouds in it that really are just getting in your eyes. They're hazy. You are rubbing your eyes for a second, and as you do so, you hit a large rock, which for a small rock gnome is kind of like a little boulder to anybody else. Roll a d4 for me, please.
Crud. It's a 1.
There you go. You take 1 point of bludgeoning damage as you stub your toe on that boulder, and it falls into the space. You do see, with the passive perception of 11, it's a large round cavern. It's probably around like 40 feet tall, 60 feet in diameter. You see this heavy mist, and you see an odd green glow from the top of some stone pedestals. And before you can really gather much more than that, you hear a voice. Someone's here. Put it on the stone. Is anybody else going to do anything? Because you hear that voice as well.
I think Oro, knowing that the cheek is slightly up, he's gonna move up to be defensive and move into the space, but he's gonna go, if Salvin went like left, he's gonna go to the right side of the opening and slide on in.
You're not going to like Mama Giraffe Salvin and stand over him?
No, I don't want to be struck in the body and go to sleep altogether this time.
All right, so you were able to go to the other side of that opening. What about Bridget?
Well, Bridget's going to follow their lead and enter, but go to the farthest side from Oro, so we're flanking Salvin.
Okay. So I am going to hear what Salvin would like to do, and then because you all chose to step up, I will let you get your exact positioning in a moment. I will be able to describe what all of you see. So Salvin, what do you do when you make that loud noise, stub your toe, and then hear those words?
He probably first of all said, like, dag nabbit or something after he knows he totally screwed it up.
Something old Manny.
Yeah. And I think he's just going to call out, like, what would he call out? Let's say, the town guard have arrived. Make yourself known.
Nice.
Formidable.
All right, I'm gonna show you guys a map.
Always a good sign.
Yes. So I did say this space is dimly lit, but it's not completely obscured. I'm not going to give you guys any challenges in line of sight. You all see a large round cavern, at least 40 feet tall, 60 feet in diameter. There is a heavy mist in the air, but the odd green glow from the 4 stone pedestals set around a dark pool in the middle of the space seem to pierce through it as brightly as midday sunlight. There are multiple openings in the walls, trickling water into a large central basin. It is dark and difficult to see through, but shallow enough for the goblins that you see, to pass through it, slowly. You watch as a goblin steps towards one of the pedestals and places a pearl necklace on the round opening on its side. The air cracks alive as a small burst of lightning lashes out, striking it, before it falls over, motionless. The large shell set on top of the pedestal begins to glow green, and you hear water moving as it begins to swirl on the far side of the pool, which I'm going to put up on your map for you.
Ooh.
Standing over it is a tall humanoid shape. They appear blue, with long hair in extremely wide locks, almost looking like seaweed, standing waist deep in the dark pool, swirling their hands over the moving water. Ah, they finally got wise enough to send someone. How quaint. But I'm sorry. You're too late. I found what I want, and I'm going to get some friends to help me get what's mine. I've been practicing my evil laugh. My kids don't like it. And as they start to laugh, and that water swirls and swirls and swirls, out steps forth a massive-looking frog. One might even call it a giant toad. And skittering out the other side are two giant crabs. One massive claw, one small claw.
You should get that checked.
You can't stop us now. We're going to descend upon that little town full of its poor, unfortunate souls and take back what's mine. Get them. They can't stop this. I'm going to need everyone to roll initiative.
Oh. Click on your thing and then...
Yep, don't forget to click your token before you roll.
Yep, that's about right.
Sorry, I don't have all my fancy buttons set up, so it takes just a minute to click through everybody.
Now, what is my initiative number and what's it for?
Initiative is how quickly you respond to the call to action, and essentially how quickly you jump into the fray. It is where you stand in the line of turns. All right, so what did everybody roll for initiative?
Well, Salvin rolled a 1. He definitely is put off by this sea hag. He's not really been around oceany things and even large lakes. He's not a swimmer, so yeah, he's a little reluctant right now.
Oro rolled a massive improvement on that at a 5.
Oof.
Bridget, giant that she is, she rolled a 6.
Winning.
All right, you guys are going to be waiting a little hot minute here.
Should we position
We're all
ourselves
clustered
for our
at the
descriptor?
entrance.
Yeah, I'm getting there, Matt. Trust me. So, I won't let you run completely across the space, but I will say each of you can have up to 15 feet of movement of where you would have gone as you entered the space and she was talking to you. But it will have to be around the perimeter. I don't think any of you would have run straight up to anything. You all described yourselves as trying to kind of sneak in, slowly go in, or position yourselves around each other, yes?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Am I restricted on how far I could go? Because I want to be on the other side of Salvin.
You can be, I would say you can be 10 feet away from Salvin because you have a pretty big movement. Like
Okay.
if you would have been over on the left side of the cave when you walked in, that would have been within your 15.
Okay.
But is everyone good with that? I know it's kind of technical to say like you can move this many squares.
No,
but
it's fine. I
This
don't
one
think
should
we
not
would,
be
like,
bunched.
I don't think we would have walked in beyond what we described anyway. We're really right at the entrance.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we have a nice round cave dwelling. We have dark pooling water in the center, 4 stone pillars, as well as some goblins, some giant crabs, a giant toad, and a really interesting looking thing on the other side by a swirling whirlpool. And first on the turn order is one of the giant crabs, which is going to... and it's going to attack the first thing in front of it, which is a goblin.
Taking care of my light work.
It's going to do a claw attack. Ooh, it rolled a nat 1. So as it goes to do its claw attack, it hits its claw on the stone pillar itself, and it's going to take 1d4 of damage. Who would like to roll the crab damage for me?
I shall.
I did
That's
restrain
a line.
myself from making a joke saying that she has crabs. I'm just saying. All right.
got legs.
The giant crab that tried to strike the goblin hits that stone pillar, takes 1 point of damage itself,
She has crabs is gonna be the episode name.
Done.
Ding.
My mom will never play with us again now. Everything else was fine up until this moment.
You did kind of cross a line, the little church lady says.
Okay, so next we have a goblin. Not the one that was just trying to be hit, but another one. And it is not happy about all these things that just came out. It is actually going to run behind the pillar and hide. Let's see how well it can hide. Not very good. It rolled an 8, so that means that it ran over there, and you can see its little body shaking as
Oro
it
can
hides
still
behind the
see
pillar
it.
because it didn't really.
Yay!
Even Oro can still see it. Now we have our humanoid creature behind the whirlpool, and they are going to continue to just move their arms around the whirlpool, chanting. And they're going to hold an action.
Does Janet know what it means to hold an action?
I'm trying to read that and see if I should or not.
Well, I'll explain it. You can hold an action, meaning instead of making an attack, you can make it conditional. That I want to attack, or I want to move maybe whatever direction. You basically hold that action contingent upon something else happening. So you say, like, if something runs up to me, then I will make an attack. But I don't want to make an attack right now. So it gives you a chance to kind of feel out the situation without giving up your turn. But it's very specific. You can't just be like, I'll attack them. Like if they move, like it has to, you really have to narrow it down to a very specific instance.
And if that doesn't happen, you lose it.
You can't be, I'm going to attack, everyone. If this happens or that happens, it has to be like, if someone comes right up to me, then I'll attack them.
Okay, so like I could say if they're within 10 feet of me.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I will attack
that's
them.
a great way to say it.
Okay.
Yep.
And a lot of people use it like if you are trying to draw enemies towards you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm going to stand right next to the door with my axe, and as soon as anything steps through the door, I attack it, which is hilarious if there's not enemies in the other space.
Ouch.
But the cost of that, or the catch of a held action, is that if your specific trigger, is what it's called, if your specific trigger does not happen, your held action disappears at your next turn. You essentially never enacted it.
Gotcha.
Which I apologize if you guys already said that. I was reading.
No, if you cast a spell, you lose the spell slot. Like even if you never did it right, we said that basically
Actually,
if you went through the action of holding that spell, you've done the spell, but you haven't cast it quite yet, but you lose the spell slot, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's good when you're not in a situation to be effective and you're taking a chance that you could be if something changes.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. So where the GM
Alrighty.
decide?
No, you're good. That's perfect. So yeah, she is going to hold an action. I'm not going to tell you what the trigger is. All right, next up we have our goblin that was kind of swung at by that giant crab, and it's going to pull out its scimitar and try and take a strike at that crab. Ooh, it rolled a 20. That's going to hit. Ooh, it rolled really good on its damage too. This crab might die before it even gets to you. It takes 7 points of slashing damage from that goblin.
Goblin.
Nice.
Goblin.
Goblin. Goblin.
You go. You go.
And it is going to disengage. And it's also going to try and run behind this pillar. But it can't get there because its friend is there cowering behind it. So it's just going to start yelling. And like jump up and down and get all angry at it. Next we have our big old toady friend.
Is her name Tobitha?
They are going to... Huh?
Is her
Tobitha?
name Tobitha.
Oh, Tobitha. Nice. It's going to make a big old jump. Closer towards the entrance. About halfway across that pool. Jump. Sploosh! Water shoots up. You see small tendrils moving underneath its feet. And that's going to end its turn. So now we're at the other crab because you guys rolled really low on your initiative.
Yep.
Yep.
Strategically bad.
And the humanoid creature is going to call out to the crab before it acts. Stay here. And that crab is just going to remain there. I'm going to have the crab hold an action. Bridget McRogue, what are you going to do?
Do we assume everybody's bad?
What does Bridget assume?
Well, Bridget likes animals, and a toad is an animal.
Well, there's
There
other
you
things
go.
in there that aren't animals.
They're vegetables and minerals.
She is the very model of a modern major general.
Alrighty. Well,
I know it's tough. You're first out of the party in initiative.
I know, and I don't know what things to do.
Okay.
Because we've been afraid of the crabs, and we don't know what the toad is capable of yet, perhaps Bridget needs to... Ugh. I'm scared of the toad, so I think I need to take the toad out and shoot him with an arrow from my flash bow.
Ah!
Someone's yelling, shoot her! Shoot her!
Nice.
What do I need to click on?
Well, are you going to do any of your bonus action spells that we talked about? Because you were asking some questions about spell stuff. Or are you going to save that for later? It's your choice.
I'm going to save that for later. It's just the beginning here. So I'm going to click on my longbow, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Longbow.
Whoa.
21. But that is a really big toad. How'd I do?
21 absolutely hits the toad. I will say, cool thing about D&D, because the toad is so big, it is actually easier to hit. It has a very low AC.
Oh. But I thought it was giant.
Well, as like a fairy or a pixie, they're teeny tiny. Their AC is automatically higher as a starting point because they're so tiny and hard to hit.
Oh, okay. Well, Bridget wouldn't have
Never
been
put
afraid
that
of
together.
You're shooting a broadside of a barn currently.
that. Okay. So what happened to Toadie there?
Well, you got to tell me how much damage you caused with flash.
5 piercing and 2 lightning.
Nice. 7 points of damage. Where do you aim at the toad?
I aimed right between the eyes.
All right, it does go right between the eyes, but this is a pretty large creature and it has a very thick skull. So rather than going straight into its skull like you were hoping, it does embed itself in the thick, slimy flesh, but it doesn't necessarily break through the skull. And as the arrow goes in, you see a little zap of flashes lightning, and then it sits there, and it's got a floppy arrow on its head, stuck in that, fatty, fleshy bit.
Okay, so Bridget has an action. So now I could choose a bonus action.
Yeah, and I will say all of these things can be taken in any order. So, for example, I had asked if you wanted to cast any of your spells. You could have cast your bonus action first to empower your bow,
Okay.
and then done your attack. I'm happy to retroactive that because this is new to you. Just like you can move a little bit at the beginning, a little bit at the end. They are all things you can do on your attack, but you don't have to do them in a particular order.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes you want to move up closer to get in range and then run away to be farther back because you want to make your attack and then you want to get out of the way.
So you can move twice
Yeah.
in one turn.
As long as you have movement left. It's like it's mathing.
Well, I still think she feels like she's the biggest and she needs to take the giant toad out.
If you're looking to do as much damage as possible to the toad, I would recommend, and I would allow this retroactively because you're learning, some of your bonus action spells would allow you to cause extra damage to it. So
Okay.
if you would have used your bonus action to do either Hail of Thorns or Ensnaring Strike to supercharge your bow, it'll stay supercharged for a minute as long as you don't lose concentration, and it would have added that extra damage. I'm happy to do that. Just reverse time. Scooby-Doo it.
And the minute is
Okay.
10 rounds of combat, not a minute real time, it's a minute combat time. So you get
Okay.
10
Yes.
rounds with it.
And yeah, and what Dan's saying about the turns is D&D is like super slow-mo. Like I envision Robert Downey Jr. in the Sherlock Holmes movies where he looks at exactly how he's going to punch the guy, and it's like these minute seconds and it's slow-mo, but really it only took 15 seconds to happen. It's like that. One full round, every single person taking their turn in the initiative order and getting up to the number one person again is supposed to represent 6 seconds of time. Firing an arrow just takes a couple seconds. It doesn't take 2 minutes. So all of these things are playing out in a 6-second snapshot, and that's how it determines how many rounds things stay up and things like that.
Okay, well, I'm not seeing what I have. I want to do the one that goes around him and holds him tight, so I can shoot him and have him incapacitated whether my arrow is lethal or not, and that would give my teammates an opportunity to go on top of that.
Okay.
Snaring strike.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and use that one, ensnaring strike.
Okay.
And that means I have to take it down a number.
Look at you. So on point.
Okay.
Okay, and then if you go to the button on the top right that says core, that will take you back to your main page.
Okay, so now I'm back to my character sheet.
Oh, it doesn't have ensnaring strike as a attack button. Okay, sorry, go back to your spells. Some of them you have to launch from the spell page, and some of them you have to launch from the character sheet, so I apologize. This one does not have any attack damage. It only has a chance to ensnare them, which is why there is no attack roll and why it's not on your character page.
Okay. So I want to go back and use my bow, Flash, and Flash is going to ensnare at the same time.
Hopefully.
Sounds good. Now I'm going to have you do one more thing before you click back over. So ensnaring strike, they are going to make a strength saving throw to see if they are stronger than the ensnaring vines that this causes against your spell save DC. The more experienced you are as a spellcaster, the harder it is to break through your magic. Rangers are not as trained in magical arts as other beings, so you do have a fairly low spell save DC. But if you scroll up just above the red buttons, you will see a box that says spell save DC. What number's in there?
10.
All right. So that toad is going to make a strength saving throw, and they have to meet or beat a 10 to be strong enough to not be ensnared by your magical vines of your ensnaring strike.
Grr.
All right, go ahead and switch back to your core page, and I will roll for Le Toad. Ooh. Because they're so big, it was really good that they had advantage because the first roll was a nat 1. But the second roll was a 12.
You almost
So-
got it.
Unfortunately, as that arrow strikes the flabby, fleshy bit just above its brow, it goes in there, ignites in a burst of lightning, and then vines start to erupt quickly. Magical vines sprout from it and grasp onto the murky water below. And the toad is freaking out about the thing sticking out of its forehead. It thrashes its head back and forth and rips them out of the ground as they retract and fade. Unfortunately, you did not ensnare the toad.
Nice, but you get that every time, so keep that in mind.
Okay.
Yep.
Is that the end of my turn?
You still have movement if you would like to move anywhere. It's up to you.
Okay. I shall move a little closer to the toad. So now I'll be at a different angle. Or that's my thought anyways. So,
Okay, so you're going to move about 10 feet forward. Diagonals just count as 5 feet. You move about 10 feet forward, slightly off to the left, and you stand by one of those stone pillars. You do notice as you stand at that pillar, there is a small hole, kind of just at the square, not even the square of your back, kind of at bum height for you because you're tall. And you see on that square hole a seashell bracelet. You do also notice that as you step into this water, there's like seaweed or something in it, and it's really hard to walk through, and it is difficult terrain. So as you walk through the water, it's going to take twice as much movement as a dry surface would to move in it. But Salvin and Oro don't know that yet.
Looks like she's struggling over there. I think it might be difficult terrain.
If she had gone more than 5 feet into the water, I would totally allow that. It's a boss battle, guys. Come on.
Okay, come on.
It's a boss.
All right. Bridget, is that end your turn?
that is the end of my turn.
All right. Oro.
Oh, that guy? It's my turn? Oh, God. All right.
Oh, you are a man of faith.
I don't do many things far away, so I'm gonna move over here. I'm gonna step across in front of Salvin and then past him, and then in front of La Frog to keep it clear. La Toad. Just getting my feet into the water, which I'm not too stoked about, covered in chainmail, but it sounds like a bag of quarters running across the room already. But trying not to block anybody, and potentially drawing the ire of this frog so everybody else can do what they do better, and that's reach out.
As Aura runs across in front of Salvin, he's gonna give him that coach's slap on the butt and say, "Get him, kid!"
Woo! Inappropriate touching. I remember that from basic. All right. All right. Salvin's gonna find his character sheet real quick, and he is gonna take a
Salvin
strike.
or Oro is gonna find his character sheet.
Oro's looking for his character sheet. Shield up, sword out, and he's gonna take a pretty healthy swing at this frog toad. Does a 23 connect?
Totally. Do your damage.
Well, Oro, wanting to make sure things go well here, he concentrates as he takes this swing, and his horns and his hands start to glow, and then as the sword is lighting up, the sword actually begins to glow quite extremely, and as he jams it into the frog, a burst of gold energy flows through the blade, and he pushes one divine smite into the frog.
Nice.
So that is 8 points of slashing, 3 points of fire, which just makes a really funny sizzling noise and steam off this wet frog, and 9 points of divine smite. The frog glows and then is burned with radiant energy.
Where do you strike the frog?
I'm thinking I'm actually going below the mouth line, and I slice, like, kind of between the front legs and the mouth. Just trying to really get to something vital as fast as I can.
And that you do, because as you slash across it, you hear things hitting the water, splashing.
Okay.
As... Sorry, I just see Mom's face. As blood begins to pour out, and maybe things that it recently ate and hadn't fully digested fall out a little bit as well. But because of the radiant damage and the fire damage, it kind of cauterizes it as you're slashing, leaving it with just a slightly bloody wound.
Okay.
Too much, Mom? I can scale it back.
Nah.
Go for it. I'm very worried about you.
No, this is basic. So Oro, being happy with his 20 points of damage, all of his movements used, he pushes his shield up and stands firm, waiting to do the next thing. So that's the end of his turn.
All right, Salvin.
All right. Salvin is going to raise both his hands up to the top of the cave and slam them down. And he does, he's going to shout to his companions, "Cover your ears," as he casts Shatter. He's going to cast
nice.
this right in this location. So everything within 10 feet here, which will be the sea hag, the giant crab, one goblin, another giant crab, the toad, and part of that whirlpool.
Do it.
That's a good strike, man.
So that is Shatter. And everyone's going to need to make a DC 13 Constitution save or take 14 points of thunder damage.
Nice.
Thunder.
All right, we're going to start with our sea hag. 22.
I think she saves.
Giant crab number 1, closest to her. 14. The injured giant crab. 8. It's appropriate. The goblin. 7.
Yes.
Nice.
And the toad. 16.
Ah!
Do they?
I was hoping to
Do they
splatter Oro with some toad guts.
That would be nice.
Dane over it. Does he take half damage?
Remind me,
does
was it
take-
half damage or...
It's half damage for anything that makes the save.
Okay.
So 7
That's still
points.
7 points. That's
Yeah.
still good. So, sea hag The crab standing next to her and the giant toad take half damage. They take 7. But the giant crab that tried to attack the goblin and broke its own claw, it's dead. The goblin that was foolishly and failingly tried to hide behind the pillar, dead as well. The thunder damage. What would you say? Would it actually like tear through it or just rattle it so much that it just collapses? What do you think the shatter would have done?
I think it starts at a center point and is like a, you know, like how you can feel thunder like in your chest. It basically resonates through it, rippling through the air, and just kind of shatters it outward. So everything kind of pushes out from that central point. So it would break apart across the room to the, you know, wall side away from where it was cast.
Above water
Sounds
depth
good.
charge.
Yeah.
Yep. So you have killed a goblin and a giant crab on this turn, and that giant toad is looking rough.
Well, that is all Oro can do, and he's gonna hang right back
mean
where
Salvin?
he is.
Salvin,
That
you
is
got
all
my disease.
Salvin can do, and that will end his turn.
All right. We are back at the top of the turn order and take that crab off of the turn order because it's dead. Well, as well as that goblin.
I'm making your job easier, GM. Come on.
Yep,
That's fair.
simplifying it.
But being the top of the turn order, our sea hag is still standing there, moving her hands, twirling them, swirling them. The ritual's already started. You can't stop me now. And at the top of the turn order, coming through that whirlpool, another giant toad comes out.
Oh, good.
Oh man.
And it's going to leap right next to the closest thing it can see, which is Bridget McRogue. And it gets close enough to you, it is going to try and bite you.
Bridget McNugget.
But it rolled a 9, which I don't think is going to break your armor class.
What do I do?
What is your AC?
15.
Does not break your armor class. That ends their turn.
You're good.
All right. After that toad jumps up, tries to bite at Bridget, how do you dodge its bite? This is a massive thing. I mean, when I say this is a giant toad, it's like 10 feet tall, almost 10 feet wide. This is a huge creature that tries to munch on you.
So is it my turn to do something?
No, I'm just asking you narratively because it
Oh.
missed on its attack. What did you do to avoid the attack?
I just crouched down. I can swim. I'm not afraid of what's underneath me, so I just made myself as low as I could go.
And it misjudged.
Absolutely.
We are now at our little goblin friend that got angry because it couldn't hide. And it's still really angry at this whole situation, but it's gonna take a step out and it's going to shoot an arrow at Salvin.
Jerk.
No, don't say that yet. It rolled a 9. I assume a 9 doesn't hit your AC.
Doesn't.
You don't know.
All right, it misses.
Salve the small target, just right over his head.
Hits
Right.
the cave behind you.
Yeah. Right through the hood, the peak on his hood there. Just
It is going to try and hide behind that stone pillar. And it rolled a nat 1, so it's going to trip and fall. Salvin, can you roll a d4 for me to see how much damage it takes?
4. Oh, he really
Ooh,
hit his head on that one.
nice.
Smacked his face good.
Well, I'll ask you, do you want it to take full damage or do you want it to fall prone?
I'd say take full damage.
All right. So it does not fall down. It is able to use the remainder of its movement to stand back up, but it does take 4 points of damage and gets a bloody nose from smashing its face on the cave floor.
That's what you get.
Next up, we have our really, really hurt giant toad, which is going to try and take a big ol' bite out of you, Oro.
Get off me.
Ugh, it rolled a nat 1. Roll a d4 for me.
All right. I think Oro reaches up and just smacks it right in the nose with the shield. That's a 1.
Hey, that's still 1 point of damage.
Yep.
Whittling it down.
Get out of here.
Hey, it's Jackie, and I just wanted to take a brief moment to pause the action and say thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it. And if you have never played a tabletop role-playing game and kind of want to, I encourage you to give it a shot. There are tons of different game systems out there and even more players that want to roll some dice and build a story with new friends. We'd even love to hear about your experience on our social media. And while you're there, if you don't mind liking or subscribing, leaving a rating or review, or maybe driving a friend of yours to the NatFun podcast, we'd really appreciate that too. Okay, let's get back to the action. All right, next up is the giant crab that was remaining over by the sea hag, and it is going to start to skitter about a little bit here. But it is actually going to submerge itself underneath this water. Bridget, odd or even?
Choose your
Odd?
destroyer.
It attacks you, because I rolled a 15. So the giant crab is going to try and make a claw attack against you, Bridget. It rolled a nat 1.
Stupid crab.
Bridget, can you roll a d4 for me, please, and describe how this crab hurts itself while trying to attack you?
Well, I only rolled a 2.
That's okay.
That's okay. It just hurt itself trying to attack you. That's just free damage.
Okay, well, it was... And how was it hurting me again? Remind me.
It was trying to take its big old pincher claw and clamp down on your leg.
Didn't work.
Okay, well, he had so much momentum because he was so overconfident that he cut off one of his own legs.
Nice.
Oof. Well, luckily they have enough legs, I'll allow it, because it still has its full movement, but it does cut off one of its legs, and as it does so, you, from your vantage point, can see that it's starting to bleed out of that leg.
Blood, 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 blood.
Oh, should we have made you a barbarian instead? But that does end the giant crab's turn. I will move it in the appropriate location.
Oh, man.
All right. Bridget McRogue, we are at you.
Okay, well, I'm trying to make a decision between the giant toad and the giant crab. I'm pretty big. I'm not too worried about the crab. I'm more worried about the toad. And I'm so close to him that I don't want to use my arrow, but I want to try and take him out of commission. I still have my same spell over him, and I'm going to try my dagger this time.
Okay.
And I'm already crouching down. So I get my dagger and I go straight up from my crouched position. So he's already been hit in the head, he's already been hit in the neck. I'm coming up more through the chest, and the entire dagger goes into his chest, and then I turn it sideways.
Okay. So are you going to jump over the crab to get to the toad that's been hurt? Because the one right in front of you was newly summoned and has not yet been damaged.
Oh, yes. The old toad is over here.
Old
This
toad is
the
by
new
Oro.
toad.
But I don't know what new toad is going to do to me. I think I need to go after the new toad.
There
Okay,
you go.
you're good. I was interpreting your attack as hitting the wound that Oro made on the old toad.
No,
I was misinterpreting. You're saying Oro's did really well and you are copying it.
but I'm going
Gotcha.
lower, like more into the toad
Gotcha.
chest.
All right, well, let's see what the dice think about that battle maneuver.
Okay,
Sorry that I misunderstood.
that's okay. I wasn't clear. I didn't know what to call the toad's chest. Sorry. My toad anatomy is not what it should be. So what do I want to roll?
You will click on your dagger just like you would have clicked on your bow, and it'll do your attack roll.
Click on dagger.
Whoa. Woo.
Nice.
Yeah, I got a 20.
Sweet. It is, we call it a dirty 20.
Why is it dirty?
So because it has crabs. No.
You're hilarious.
A natural 20 is when you roll a 20 on a 20-sided dice. So your number is actually higher than 20 with your bonuses. A dirty 20 is when you get up to the number 20 by a combination of other things. Because a nat 20 always is like way above and beyond normally awesome.
Okay.
But a 20, still, that dagger goes right into that giant toad. Let's see how much damage you do.
7 piercing.
All right, 7 points of piercing damage as you go underneath, and as you try and drag that dagger and cause a big wide opening like Oro did, that dagger is really small and that toad is really big. You hit a piece of bone and have to pull the dagger out.
Oh, man.
It does do some damage, but it doesn't seem to have done as much damage as Oro's sword.
And she still gets to do her ensnaring strike again because it's cast on herself, right?
I believe it's ranged attacks, but I will reread it.
You and your rules.
Oh, you're right. It does just say weapon attack.
Oh, never knew that.
Nice catch. Yeah.
So does that change?
So that means that the toad will have to roll that strength saving throw against your 10. If it fails, it is kind of stuck where it's at, which could be good for you.
Okay.
So let's see what it rolls on its strength saving throw. It does have advantage because it's a large creature. And it rolled a 15. 15 and 11. So,
Bummer.
unfortunately, ensnaring strike does not work. But that was a really good catch, Dan.
I wanted
Okay.
to work for her.
I
I'm
know.
ready for it.
So the only thing I did was stabbing. Can I try a different weapon?
No, unfortunately, you used your action.
Okay.
So you have used your action to do the dagger. You have not used a bonus action, but you already have your ensnaring strike up, and you are currently concentrating on that. So
Right.
if you were to use your other bonus action spell, you would lose ensnaring strike. You should only have one at a time. And you can move, but if you move out of melee range with something, it gets an attack of opportunity, which is a free chance to attack you. So moving away, you have a chance that the crab and the giant toad will both hit you.
Okay, well, I'm just going to stay where I'm at and wait for my next turn and say, hey, guys, over here, help me, help me.
That sounds like a good free action. All right, if that ends your turn, we are on to Oro.
Oh boy. Well, with that, Oro being Oro, he really was going to finish off this frog, but he is worried a little bit about Bridget and being under his care, technically. He's going to move a little deeper into the water between the two toads.
Toad sandwich.
And as you move deeper, your feet feel weighed down and almost heavy, as if things are reaching out and grabbing it. And when you look down, you realize there is a thick bed of seaweed that you're walking through, making it difficult terrain.
Fair enough. Fair enough. He is now centered between the crab and the two giant toads, and his first priority is to make sure somebody else doesn't befall harm. Crab's tempting, but he's going to go for Toadzilla too. He's going to strike with his longsword again, raise his shield,
Actually,
and hope for the best.
I have to jump in. There's one thing I have to do before you can do that, because you did move, and you moved closer to the sea hag.
Yes.
So I need you
This
to
goes
make-
poorly for me every time.
move Oro back to where he started for me, please. You might
Okay.
still be able to move forward, you might not.
Okay.
I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Not what you call a strong suit, but I do need to check some abilities. Wisdom saving throw. That's a strong, powerful 5.
All right. As you get ready to step forward and you turn your body to face the giant toad by Bridget, your eyes pass over that humanoid creature swirling their hands above the water. And you watch as their hair, which was mostly blocking their face, moves slightly out of the way, and you get a brief glimpse at their true form. And it is terrifying. You see dark blue skin, patches of scales on yellowed flesh that looks almost rotten, shark teeth protruding out of a too-wide grin across her face, bulbous black eyes look at you, and fear strikes your heart. You have
Cool.
the I believe is it the afraid condition or fear condition? I always say it wrong.
Afeared. It's both.
I'm
Afeared?
afeared. Yeah,
Aferded.
I'm
I think it's
immune.
just the afraid condition.
I have fear. Yeah.
Frightened. It's the frightened condition. I can remember things. I was like, none of these sound right.
Frightened. Yeah.
You have the frightened condition. So you have disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of your fear is within line of sight. And you cannot willingly move closer to the source of your fear.
Okay.
So you can step to the left, but you cannot step up between the toads as you had originally intended. Sorry, not sorry.
No. Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good.
I will say, by stepping one map square to the left,
I know.
you are still
I'll get
within
the same
melee range of
place.
all the things you originally intended. It's just not quite narratively what you were going for.
No, that's all good. That's all good. I am liking this. I'm just trying to remember something. What does this game mean? Yeah, that's not going to help me right meow enough. All right, so Oro goes to step forward, and he's just compelled to not step forward, but he steps to the left 5 feet, and he's still technically engaged with everybody. It's just not as deep into the throes of it. And he's going to do his best to swing at this Frogzilla 2 still, and over the arm of this giant crab. Hope he draws their attention. That's a critical for a 24 on La Frog.
Don't sound excited or anything. That's not like an amazing roll after you just got all scared.
Just saying. So I assume that hits?
Absolutely. It hits. It crushes it. Roll your damage.
Okay.
And you missed
Of
with a
course
nat
a 24 hits.
Yeah. Well, I've been known to do things. Now the question is, I think he's gonna save it. He's just going for a full swing to defend somebody. He's hoping for the best right now, so he's hacking down pretty hard. Yeah, that'll do. That's 16 points of slashing and 2 points of fire. He swings so hard that the flame actually starts to lick out on the blade and doesn't do as much damage. It's more heat, but he hits it with 16 points plus 2 more, so 18 points of damage into Megatoad 2.
Megatoad 2. That's another really solid adventure name, guys. So, against Megatoad 2, where do you strike it? Where do you hit it?
I think it's facing Bridget, and he actually comes down just behind its eyes. Like, if he was going to try to take this thing off at the neck, that's kind of what he's aiming for. Just full slash, downward swing.
All right. I will say you took out a significant point of its hit points. It is not on death's doorstep, but it is enough to have a bleeding wound. Would you like to describe it, or would you like me to?
I think so. I think as he comes down, I mean, he swings hard, and he sees the fire actually licking off the blade, and he slams it all the way down, and he feels it hit against bone, and he draws it out, and it's just this flesh kind of open wound, and it's a gape, and but he was hoping it would be more successful than he is, but he's thinking he's probably drawn its attention.
That's a great thought. We'll have to see what it chooses to do on its turn.
Nope, it listens to me. I live here now. Oro says, I'm over here, look over here, little froggy friend. That's my turn.
All right, Salvin, you're up.
Salvin, having heard Bridget's call for help, will cast Eldritch Blast on that same giant toad that everyone's now focusing their energy on. So that's a 22 to hit.
Totally hits. Roll for damage.
10 points of force damage, and I would actually like to also use Repelling Blast, which will push it to 10 feet away from them as well. So as he raises his hands and he flings them forward, pulling up whatever sludge and anything else he can from the water right beneath it, slams it straight into it. Now, would that provide them with an attack of opportunity?
I was just
as
checking.
It flees or sloshes out of their way?
Sure, that sounds awesome.
So would Bridget like to make a dagger strike at it, since you had your dagger in your hand?
Yeah, so an attack of opportunity is a reaction you can make when something leaves your melee range. You can take a quick swing as it passes through or runs away.
Even though it's not my turn.
Yep. It's called a reaction.
You only get one per round, but
Okay,
we're at the bottom of the round, so use it.
Okay, I was going to say, she's still got her dagger in her hand, so she is going to move.
Nope, can't move.
Can't move?
You are trying to hit it with the dagger. As you see it get struck with that force from Salvin's spell, you see it start to get pushed back, and you seize the opportunity to slash at it before it gets pushed away.
Before it gets pushed away. Okay, well, with all of her strength, she again goes in low in the fleshy point of him with her dagger and tries to compound the damage that's already been done.
Ooh, Matt's being the rules follower here. I am aware that technically, yes, I am aware that technically it should be only when they are moving away. I am just overruling with the rule of cool that I think it's really neat that he chose to use that to give you guys an attack of opportunity. But yes, you are right, Matt. And if you didn't have GM inspiration, I would have given you one. As you send a message to the chat, excuse me guys, no, you're actually wrong. The book actually says.
As we're teaching the game, we can choose to decide what rules we do and don't abide by, but this is a big debated rule. So.
Yes. You are right. Technically, an attack of opportunity is only if the creature moves by their own choice. It does not actually happen when it is at the cause of a spell or other outside source. Let's go ahead and see that dagger strike from Bridget, because it just sounds cool.
Okay, so I want to go back to core, and I want to go down to dagger, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Dagger. And I got 19.
Totally hits. Roll for damage.
So I go back to my dagger here. 6 piercing.
You kill the toad. So as you see it starting to get forced back by Salvin's Eldritch Blast, where do you slash at it to fell this large beast?
I again go for its chest. I want to get as close to its innards as I can.
And those innards become outers.
That's a good thing.
As you slash at it. And it dies. Blech.
Yay!
But it does get pushed 5 feet away from you just because it's funny.
Well, that's good, because she didn't want to swim through the blood and gore. So, yay!
Liar.
All right, Salvin, do you have anything else you'd like to do this turn?
No, Salvin's going to stay right where he is, kind of hovering against the wall right towards the entry in case he wants to flee for some reason. But that will end his turn.
All right. We are up to our sea hag, which I like how you all read the tag on her name. Or did you just know what she was? Because we have all never battled a sea hag before.
We have not.
We have not.
But we have watched Little Mermaid.
That's fair. I dropped a couple hints. So, this sea hag, which you may have guessed what her name is noticed that someone's heart changed in the room. She could feel the heart beating faster as their eyes caught hers.
Crud.
And she's going to stare intently at the source, which needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Poop. Poop, 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 poop. Okay. Oro's making a wisdom. Come on, brain. 13?
13 makes it. Woo! As she stares at you and raises her hands and begins to mumble an enchantment looking straight at you, you see a thread appear between you and her and almost get plucked. And as it's getting pulled, your heart hurts and you feel your life force being pulled. And at the last moment, you are able to, with your wisdom, see through it. Pull yourself back. You're still afraid.
Yeah.
And that was a terrifying experience. But it did not harm you.
I think he does what he's been trained to do. Although he's terrified, he leans on his faith. He grabs a symbol and it begins to glow and breaks the spell, I think.
And that whirlpool continues to swirl around and around and around. And bursting forth from it are...
Man.
2 crabs pop out. 2 giant crabs.
She's got crabs.
Lady, you've got a problem. You need to see a doctor or a cleric.
Now, I am going to be more fair. I didn't think about it last time. I just had it act when it popped out because it was narratively fun. But I'm going to have them roll for initiative.
Fair
So they go where they're supposed to. Apologies for doing it wrong before.
I didn't mind it. It's fun.
It was fun.
Well, do you want me to have them go now then?
No.
Just the guy who's afraid.
Yep. All right, so that does end her turn. She continues to mumble and mutter over that whirlpool in the water. And the goblin is up. The one that didn't hide fell flat on its face. It's got a bloody nose. Salvin, you said that you speak goblin, correct?
Yes.
All right, so it's going to...
Parents are so disappointed.
And it's going to run over to the stone pillar where the other one had put that pearl necklace. And you hear it say, "It's not worth it. I'm going to take this back to my clan." And it's going to grab that necklace and pull it out of the stone pillar. And as it does so, lightning shoots forth. Toasty Goblin falls to the water, drops the pearl necklace. And you hear the sea hag, "No!" And the whirlpool looks a little less agitated.
Noted.
It's on the right medication.
I'm gonna go put those pearls back in their spot. She seems unhappy about it.
Oro is here to help.
The giant toad that has the arrow still in its... I'm going to just call it the fat flap on its forehead. Like, I don't know what else to call it. On its brow.
Unibrow.
It is going to attempt to bite at Oro.
Of course.
It's always gone well.
Come at me, bro.
You have like an AC of 95, so I don't want to hear it. It rolled a 13.
Clank.
I'm disappointed.
I think he bangs the shield off his face again. No! Put me down! Stop putting things in your mouth.
All right, next up we have the giant crab right next to Oro and Bridget, and it's going to at Bridget's leg again with its claw. It rolled a 14. What is your armor class, Bridget?
15.
And it does not hit. How do you evade the crab's claw again?
I can't do a weapon or anything, can I?
Nope, this is just narrative flavor like Matt was saying, like as the toad comes down. So
Okay.
the way that the story works is kind of like Mad Libs. And the dice rolls
Okay.
are the Mad Lib parts, and we're going to just fill in the words between the dice rolls, if you would like. If you don't,
Okay.
a lot of times people just play where the GM describes it. I just like to give you guys a lot more descriptions because I think it's more fun for you. So as this crab tries to claw at you and grab onto you with this big old claw, what does Bridget do to avoid that attack? Because it misses.
Well, she sees it coming, so she lifts up the leg that he was going for and says, "Not today, buddy," and slams it back down. And she's so huge, starts to make waves in the water because everything's going.
Nice.
Oh, lover of animals, she says. Over here stomping on crabs.
Not when it's clawing at me.
So we have these other two crabs that came forth from this whirlpool. One of them is going to sploosh, go underneath the water. And it's going to try and do its claw. And I'm going to say odd or even, Mom.
Even.
It rolled a 16. That's going to be an attack at you. I'm not going to be mean and give them advantage from being hidden in the water, even though it is murky water. But it didn't need advantage because it just rolled a 22. I think that's going to be higher than your AC. Yeah. So it does 3 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are now grappled.
What does grappled mean?
Grappled means, I'll put it in chat, you have a speed of 0, so you cannot move. It is holding on tight, and you can try and get away from the grapple, but you are pretty much stuck. This thing is holding you, and you can't move until you break that grapple. Now, the grapple can be broken if the thing dies. Obviously, it lets go. Or you can try and do, I believe, this is where I always get hung up, because I think grapple, it can be a strength or dex, correct?
Yes, it can be an
That sounds right.
athletics or an acrobatics, I believe.
So you can either do an athletics to try and just muscle the claw open, or you can try and do acrobatics and be all nimbly-pimbly like and try and find a way to sneak out of the grapple.
Well, I already have some points for athletics, so I should probably choose that one.
Well, here's the thing though. It would be an action on your turn to try and break the grapple.
Oh.
So the thing you were trying to do with your ensnaring strike, that's what the crab just did to you.
Okay.
You stuck, unless you try and break it.
Well, is it my turn?
Not yet.
She is has a concentration spell up right now, so will she have to make a save? Okay.
That was the next thing I was going to say.
All right,
Since you got
jumping
hit,
the
because so
gun.
far they've all missed everything. Since you got hit, you have to make a concentration check to see if you can maintain the concentration on that ensnaring strike spell, which means you have to roll a wisdom saving throw. And it's a DC of 10 or half the damage you took, whichever number is bigger. You only took 3 points of damage, so that means you have to roll a 10 or higher. Or no, it's not. It's Constitution, excuse me. A Constitution saving throw. 10 or higher to keep the concentration on that spell.
Okay.
So on your character sheet, above your skills is where the saving throws box is. You need to do a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution.
Woo!
Bridget.
Oh, nice.
15.
Nice. So even though this crab grapples you with its claw, you have experience hunting animals and animals that fight back sometimes. You're not shaken or deterred at all, and you were able to maintain concentration on your ensnaring strike. And that ends the crab's turn. Bridget McRogue.
I will say that, now, Jackie, you mentioned that you can try to break free from the grapple, but also if you kill the creature, that would automatically free you from its snare, right?
Yes, and trying to break free from the grapple is an action to do so. So you could try and break free from the grapple, or you could attack it, but both of those things are an action. You'll have to pick which of the two you would like to do.
Okay.
I would recommend attacking it. Or attacking something else, because your bow hits harder and very accurately. You're not much of a dagger wielder.
Right.
You can rely on your friends to help you, or you can try and help yourself. This is one of those tough decisions. What would Bridget do in this moment?
Well, I think that Bridget would want to, again, she's all into, if she's going to damage, she wants maximum damage. So can she change her spell to the thorns? I know that means she gives up the one she has.
Okay.
And she can also get 2 crabs with 1 strike because they're right next to each other.
I will say that part is true,
Okay.
but ranged weapons have disadvantage at point blank. If you think about the movie Braveheart and someone was running right up to you and you have a bow and arrow and they're literally right in front of you, it's not going to be as effective. That just means you have to roll twice and you take the lower of the 2 rolls. Now you
It's a
have the
crab.
chance to roll really good on both of them. Or you can shoot something further away and still use that hail of thorns. Which currently on the battlefield, you've got the 2 crabs by you, 1 giant toad that is on death's doorstep right next to Oro, another crab by the whirlpool, and then our sea hag.
Well, darn.
Tactics.
So Bridget hasn't had a lot of warfare experience, so she's still learning. So the giant crabs aren't that giant to her. The giant toad is already hurt. So the next dangerous thing she feels is probably the sea hag. So she's going to use flash and do her best to take out sea hag.
Do it, do it.
Very
So I can't really move anywhere. So I gotta find my longbow. And ooh, it's only a 9.
Oops.
Unfortunately, a 9 does not hit.
Dang.
as you go to make your shot, it just falls short. That crab has such a grapple on you. They're starting to kind of shake your leg a little bit with their claw, and it causes you to get a little off kilter at just the right moment that the arrow goes straight into the whirlpool and not into the sea hag.
I tried, guys. I really tried.
No, it's all good.
All right, but you used your bonus action, your action, and you can't have any movement this turn because you're grappled, so I believe that ends your turn. Can you please mark down your spell slots to only 1 remaining for me?
Yes.
All right, next up we have the giant crab by the whirlpool, the other one that had popped through, and it's going to go up to Oro, and it's going to try and hit you with its claw. 14. How do you
Clang.
avoid that?
Off a calf bracer.
Clang, clang, clang. goes
With the trolley.
Oro.
Yeah.
It misses. It used all of its movement to get here. Oro, what are you doing?
I'm thinking about a crab sandwich. Which one of these two, the lower one? So I'm surrounded by 3 crabs and a toad. Bridget's grappled by 1. Which one is she grappled by? The upper one or the lower one?
She's grappled by the one that has damage.
Okay.
The one that she chopped its leg off with her dagger.
Yeah. Boy. I feel as though this is not the right thing, but this is what Oro would do. Oro's gonna take a swing at the little crab holding her and hopefully get her free so she can start taking out the big bad lady across the way. So he's swinging a 7-legged crab.
You call him lucky now.
That's a 10? Ugh.
Does not hit.
GM inspiration.
Do it.
Gonna roll again. That's a 10. Every
Standard GM inspiration
time.
roll.
Every time.
You're consistent.
Yep.
So
that's fair.
I think Oro raises up his sword and he goes to swing at the crab, and just as he does it, it hits a rock before it connects with the crab. It just bounces back and bye! Rings his hand pretty good.
Stabbing at the leg that doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah.
All right. Bonus action movement.
I'm thinking. Man, he wants to help, but if he moves, can he take some of this with him? He'll stay. I'm done.
You sound so defeated. All right, Salvin, you're up.
Salvin, having seen the goblin and heard the goblin talk about that bracelet, will briefly shout to his companions, "Destroy the bracelets." And hopefully they can figure that much out.
Sounds like a lot
Way
of
to
work.
use your free action and limit your words. Again,
Yeah.
if you didn't have GM inspiration, I would give it to you right there.
I was thinking, like, I want to say this, and it's like, you got like 3 words. So, he will cast Eldritch Blast at the farthest column. Hold on, right there. He can see it. He's got range on it, so he's going to attempt to destroy the bracelet that is in that location with Eldritch Blast.
Sounds good.
Cast Eldritch Blast. It is a nat 1
Oh, no.
for 6. This is where it falls apart.
Oh, you're not a halfling. You're a gnome.
GM
Darn it.
inspiration. You're right. GM inspiration. Someone said it. Certainly not the GM, who definitely doesn't want me to roll
No.
another nat 1 right now, just for comedic
I would
effect.
never.
19.
19 totally hits.
Does that hit a
All right.
rock?
So that will do 8 points of force damage. Basically, Salvin will reach up towards the loose rocks at the top of the cavern, pull with his hand down, and slam it against where the bracelet is sitting on top of the other pillar at the furthest left upright side corner of this room, hoping to dislodge, smash, damage it, whatever. Just disrupt what's going on.
Yep, there is like a little hollow shelf in the middle of all of these pillars facing inward. And you see that you strike that little opening and a little piece of jewelry or some sort of trinket pops out. And then you watch a lightning blast shoot out into the dead corpse of the giant toad.
And
The
Sal-
whirlpool slows down, stops bubbling, and the sea hag cries out, "No! You will not disrupt my ritual!"
Salvin's going to run to the lower right-hand side column and stand behind it. He can't hide behind it, but he is like, what did I say? 43 inches tall?
4 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
so I don't know where the shelf is.
I would say you have 3/4 cover.
Yes, I would take
just
that.
just barely peeking around the stone pillar.
+5. All right.
And that will end Sylvan's turn.
All right. Top of the turn order. This one's going to be interesting because 2 of the pillars are not functioning right now. So that means we do get a new friend that appears through the whirlpool, but it does not come through entirely. Just the head of a giant toad comes through the whirlpool, and it somehow seems to be getting pulled back and can't fully come forward. Our lovely sea hag friend is... Let me look up one thing, because I want to make sure I can do this again.
Or am I immune since you already failed?
All right. Matt,
Yeah.
sea hag looks at Oro. And again, you see that faint thread appear between her and you as if you're cosmically connected. I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
I'm really glad I used my GM inspiration on that.
I was thinking
10.
the same thing.
Wisdom?
Wisdom.
That's a 9. 9 does it, right? 9? 9.
And Oro, as you are terrified of her face,
Not again.
you feel the familiar feeling of your life leaving your body, and you drop to 0 hit points. And I'm only laughing because this happened last time. You are not dead,
Yeah.
but you have 0 hit points.
Hey, and I have multi-legged creatures crawling all over me. This seems very familiar.
Yep. So now Oro is unconscious. He falls down unconscious. I will say your mouth is above the water.
I'm on the edge of the crick here.
And that means his character will make death saving throws on his turn. If he gets 3 death saving failures,
God.
rolling below a 10, his character dies.
Do I have anything to work against this?
If anything hits him, it counts as a failed death save. Anyone can try and do a medicine check to stabilize him, or can use their action to give him a healing potion, and that will bring him back. And now our sea hag is going to run over to the pillar where that goblin had dropped that thing. And although I would like to say it's not a full action to pick it up and set it on there, I will say it is, because I'm a nice GM.
Well, wouldn't it be an action for us to take it out? So just throwing it out there.
That's why I'm saying I'm going to go with it. Because opening a door or doing a simple action is a free action.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say she took so much time focusing on you, Oro. She just barely gets to it in time to pick it up. It's in her hand, but she does not have time to put it in the stone pillar. Next up, giant toad. What's it gonna do, Oro? What's it gonna do? What's it gonna do? Well, you're gonna have to wait a whole week to find out if the giant toad eats Oro. Or does Bridget save him with a strike from her bow flash? And Salvin has caught on to the importance of the pillars, but will his little legs be fast enough to save his friends? Find out as our fun shot Poor Unfortunate Souls continues next week here on NatFun. We hope this Send Noobs edition of NatFun encourages more people to pick up the dice and give TTRPGs a try. Even if you've had a bad experience before, I encourage you to try again. It can be an absolute blast when you find the right table and game system for you. And you can always check out NatFun to hear what other game systems are out there. We've played over 20 so far, with many more to come. And if you have any you'd like to suggest we check out, please tell us on social media or on our website, natfunpodcast.com. We're listening. And since you're still listening, would you mind giving NatFun a quick like or subscribe? Maybe follow us on YouTube, drop a rating or review, maybe even tell a friend. It really does help the show. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you back here next week for the conclusion of Poor Unfortunate Souls. Oh, here on NatFun.